Hey everyone, it's me. Today's April 30th. Tomorrow's May 1st, so then we're in May, and then June 19th is the beginning of the final 13-month, 1 day and 1 hour period where 1/3 of humanity dies. I have been busy. I ran out of money, which is not atypical on this little journey. So I got 2 jobs, and I've been working pretty regularly, pretty much every day. I've been missing the Sabbath, so I'm going to go ahead and confess that. Sorry, God. Progress in terms of telling people, I notified a deacon at a church, and of course he thought I was crazy, but we're going to have a follow-up talk. I gave him a link to the book, which he read a portion of and didn't finish, which is very typical because this entire process should be impossible, even though he's a devout Christian. And I provided the full match, including court records, IDs, government-issued IDs, and testimony from like published books or whatever that show line by line, verse by verse, a full match to Revelation 12. Me being the lion, he didn't even read read the book. So we're gonna have a follow-up talk. I'm just gonna make sure to get one thing in his head, which is on June 19th through July 20th of next year, you're gonna watch, not at the same time, but over that period of time, 2.5 billion people die. Which isn't a threat. It's just that's sort of the cost of doing business when you're ushering in heaven on earth. So in the meantime, I've been working at 2 restaurants, with working class people, very nice folks, who, I venture to say that they're just, they're not any sadder or more pissed off or depressed than someone who works in a, $1 million a year paying job. So it really doesn't, it just confirms that it doesn't matter how much money you make. Your life's basically the same. You go to work, wait till your day's done, and then go, and then you're on your own in terms of how much you've developed and actualized as a person. Anyway, so I've been thinking a lot about working class people versus high earners, and also thinking about just the idea of when I've been wrong and right, and it seems as if God has spent so much time and energy, or whatever his form of output is, setting up the world to satisfy the book of Revelation, that whenever I've deviated from that book, I've had setbacks, but when I've stuck to it, well, that's when his planning takes place, transpires, and then I look like I know what I'm doing, but really I'm just interpreting that book. So to basically adhere to that book completely, the only thing that we need to worry about is that on June 19th at noon Eastern time through next July 20th, 2020 at 1 p.m. Eastern time, over 2.5 billion people will die, and we'll institute the millennial kingdom, and which is heaven on earth. And on top of that, there's going to be all of these scientists, politicians, leaders, people in business, etc., saying why these 2.5 billion people, as they die, there's some other cause and it's not God, when in fact it was clearly stated in that book over 2,000 years ago via vision by John of Patmos, which means God delivered a vision, fast-forwarded, solved for everything, including my words right now, my statements, my movement. He knew I was going to do that, and he's planned for this accordingly. So my only goal is to notify as many people as possible that June 19th is the beginning of the end, and I'll sit back and just watch the world dismantle until eventually someone catches wind, the right person, this message goes viral, and we can then give me an audience. And once I have an audience, then we're good. It's the idea of getting a fucking audience, and that's been the issue from day one. So I think it's really all part of the plan that, whenever I come on the scene, I'll be ready to make war, which basically just means, hey guys, this shit has been forecasted. There is a system which you don't know. I'm here to teach you, and there are no other solutions aside from going to a heaven on earth. But the nice thing is, over the past week and a half or so, I've been working so much, sort of getting back in that whole groove, and earning money, which you need to survive and continue to play this game. But it kind of proves that, A, if I focus on something other than this message, that it's possible for me to achieve anything, and B, it shows the futility also of even spending time working, because all you're doing is making money to participate in a system which doesn't solve. So that's pretty much it. Again, God, I'm sorry about breaking the Sabbath. Any doubts or thoughts that I've had, I confess those too. Also, I jerked off to pornography as well. So, all right, I guess I will talk to you guys later. Hope you have a nice day. Hope you enjoy the next 51 days before the final part of the simulation, where we roll in and usher in heaven on earth. So, bye, guys.